It's a frigid Friday here in the Northeast. How you doing down in Maryland, Deuce?
We're in the middle of the doldrums now. This is legit winter right here. Can't complain though. Doing good.
The bear up in the rust is his hands have to be hypothermia right now.
I'm sure he's trying to hibernate, but the hand exercises have to be off the charts.
Well, we went back and forth on Twitter the other night in regards to LeBron and sitting. Let's get right into that before we get full-fledged into football. Give me your side on LeBron and the rest of the starters resting in Memphis.
It's a lose-lose. Fans are paying money to go through the games. I see that side of it. I also see the side of a guy that's probably played more minutes than anybody the last 25 years. The only way they're going to win a title will be Golden State is if he's fresh. So I get him not playing the full schedule. Kevin Love, I could hear arguments on since the guy's hurt every other day. Kyrie Irving, I don't get it. He's 24 in December. He's played 25 games. What do you need to rush for? I think it's become almost a popular thing to do. I think Popovich made it popular for stars to get a few nights off during the season. I see both sides, so I'm kind of torn about it. I don't really know what you can do.
Yeah, I'm with you on the side that Cleveland needs LeBron for the playoffs and the finals. I get that. I'm with you that he's played more minutes than arguably anybody. I'm with you on that. I just don't understand why he can't go out and play 15, 20 minutes. I'm looking at it from the entertainment and paying customer side of the story. Would you tune in to watch the Bravehearts if Sean Salisbury came back and played quarterback?
I probably would, actually. I think that'd be entertaining. The team that they put out there the other night, I can't imagine anyone would pay more than $1 to see that.
It was the Delaware 87ers, I think.
Yeah, right.
No, I get both sides of the argument. The easy thing to do is go back and look at all the old superstars. They played 82 games. Well, it's a different time, and I get that. I just think, and it's the same thing in Philly with Embiid. He could go out and play 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, that's what people are paying to see. This is what the NBA is marketing these guys. I just have a problem with these superstars being sat.
I agree. I can't argue against that. To me, the season shouldn't be 82 games long, or every series shouldn't be 7-game playoff series. Because I think that's part of the problem with LeBron is that he's played 15 straight playoffs. So he's tacking on 2 extra years basically. I did see Stockton and Malone basically played every game every season for 16 years. So those guys did it.
The other thing.
I don't see why. He probably could do it. I don't doubt that he could play every minute of every game all the way through. I just don't think he would be the same player at the end. And, I think we've kind of come far and away medically better than we were 20 years ago. We kind of have those analytics that show you how much your body breaks down.
Yeah, I did see a study where they talked about the analytics of back-to-back games and how much it takes a toll. Well,
yeah.
The players' union's got to go to Silver or the owners or whatever and say, get rid of the back-to-backs. Who cares if our season goes till July or August? Now we're the only show in town in July and August other than baseball. And unless you're a true seamhead, you're not watching till after the All-Star break anyway.
I agree. The players probably would bucket that because they want their 4-month off season. I don't know if it would affect salaries if you went to a 70-game season, but there's got to be one way to kind of cut the pie up so that this problem doesn't get bigger.
Yeah, I think that's the only way Silver could go about it. There's no way he could start finding teams.
No.
You're going to go to court with a medical doctor then?
Right. I think you'll start seeing guys with back issues. I got back spasms, or I have the flu. What are you going to say? You don't?
Yeah, exactly. It's a slippery slope that it's going down, and Popovich has certainly brought this upon the league.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like that you pointed out who actually started this. It wasn't the players.
No.
It was Greg Pop.
Yesterday, the NBA trading season officially opened. Do you expect that we're going to see any superstars move this year?
I think so. I think we're at the point where the league is seeing, like, there's these two teams that are so much better than everybody else. We need to somehow get there, and what we're doing is not working. The trade deadline's been sort of quiet in the past couple of years. I think we see someone bidding this year.
Could it be Boogie?
It could be Boogie. I think it could be a bunch of different people. I think this is an important 6 weeks or so until the All-Star break, 7 weeks. I think that's when it really ramps up. But, I think there's going to be several guys, Boogie included. If the Clippers tank, I wouldn't be shocked if there's a Clippers trade.
We'll get into it more in January, but give me your thoughts right now on the state of the Bullets. Is John Wall going to be moved, or Beal?
It's interesting. The talk is actually they want to keep John Wall. Will he stay, seeing how much worse this team is than it was 3 or 4 years ago? Beal is, when he plays, he's healthy. He's a really good. He's still so young. He's a really good young player. I'm not sure what his value is now. Unless he plays the rest of the season at a really high level, I'm not sure what you can really get for him. I think they want to keep Wall and bring in. Durant was their plan, and obviously they missed. That was their plan. They need somebody like that. I think they want to keep Wall at any cost. I'm not sure what that looks like at this point.
Yeah, we could get deeper into that in January once football's over. Any other association notes from you?
Not really, no. Kind of a lot of middle-of-the-road teams, and then 2 really good ones, and then 10 really bad ones.
Yeah, I think that's another thing Silver needs to take a look at. I'm not the biggest fan of parity, but we already know who the Final Four is going to be. Maybe you can make a case for 3 teams in the East. That's about it.
The analytics is rearing its head in this regard too, where you play your first 15 games or so, and then you just know right off the bat you're not good. You can already see the teams that are going to start to tank.
Yep.
Especially come the new year. So it's almost the only way to get good if you're in not in LA or New York or Miami. So I don't know how you fix that unless you go to some other draft system, but I think you're going to see this become a bigger problem where there's more and more bad teams.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. I'm as much in the association right now as I've ever been, but at the same time, the system needs to be fixed.
Yep.
Any notes in the golf world before we get into NFL?
Just one quick one, more of a merchandising thing. Tiger Woods signed officially with Bridgestone for 3 years, I think. So that's a huge get for a already pretty popular golf ball.
Is that a surprise to you at all?
No, not really, because there was kind of rumors on the internet that he was practicing with it a couple months ago. So not a huge surprise. I guess the one surprise would be that he didn't go back to the Titleist ball that he played when he was younger. But I think the golf ball technology today is so good that it doesn't really matter.
Well, then let's get right into the NFL. 1 game down, Seattle 24-3 last night. I know we exchanged some texts last night during the game. Your thoughts if Earl Thomas cannot come back healthy this season at all?
I don't think he's going to, based on the Ian Rappaport's description of his injury. Unless they make it all the way to the Super Bowl, maybe he comes back to that. I don't know. But to me, their defense looks different. Just eyeballing. The corners can't gamble as much, and last night was different because you got Jared Goff throwing the ball, so it doesn't really matter. But it's that security blanket over the top is totally gone. He is probably the best sideline-to-sideline safety in the league. I don't, off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone better. So, looks totally different to me. If they don't get pressure immediately from their front 4 or 5, I think they're vulnerable now.
I'm with you. And I know they won 24-3, but there were some signs and plays of Russell Wilson looking like he did last week in Green Bay. I wasn't that overly impressed with him last night.
His stats will look better than if you didn't watch the game that he played. He had a couple really easy touchdown passes that he could have kicked the receiver. I'm with you. That 24-3 was an ugly 24-3, if there's such a thing.
Goff had some plays that were there to be made, and you could tell that he's a rookie and hasn't played that much. But there were some plays to be made on the outside, and obviously they don't have the weapons to win that game. But Seattle's defense isn't locked down as it once was.
No, it is not the Seattle defense of 2 years ago, that's for sure.
The other thing that I took out of it last night was Michael Bennett looked like he got dinged up pretty good. I don't know how long that concussion may last.
There were some 4 or 5 guys that I thought had brain injuries on the field. Devontae Adams got cheap shotted by Richard Sherman away from the play. I thought he was going to be down for a while. Obviously, Goff got lit up on the sideline by Sherman. Then the punter, I thought, died.
What exactly was Pete Carroll doing on that play call?
I don't know. I don't get it. It's 24-3. Jeff Fisher's not over there anymore. Does he have a gripe against John Fossil that we don't know about?
Was it possible that Sean Payton called the fake punt in on Greg Williams?
That could be it right there. That's a good point. I saw that the punter went to the hospital, so clearly that concussion is worse than most.
Seattle clinches the West last night, still in line for that 2 seed in home field. Let's break down the conferences and let's figure it out who's going to the playoffs and who's not.
All right.
Let's start in the AFC. New England has pretty much sealed up the AFC East. They have remaining games at Denver this weekend. Your thoughts, win or loss?
This is a coin flip game in my mind. I'm actually going to say loss.
Jets at home next weekend.
Obviously, that's a win.
And finish at Miami.
That game won't mean anything. I would have to go back and check Belichick's record of playing starters. I'll actually say loss there because if Miami can win 2 games before that, they might still be in a wild card hunt.
So that puts them at 12-4. Let's go to the Raiders, the Chiefs, who are currently in the 2 seed. They have Tennessee at home this week.
Win.
Denver next Sunday at home.
Win.
At San Diego.
Loss.
That would put them at 12-4. That Patriots game may mean something at the end against Miami for home field.
I didn't,
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Kansas City's got a shot here at a number 1 seed.
I think, New England could go on the road and win in the playoffs, but of all the places, I think Arrowhead would be the toughest to go on the road and win with that atmosphere.
Yeah, New England better be careful because they could go to some weird places. At Arrowhead would be brutal. At Denver, if they sneak in, would be brutal. At Baltimore would be bad if they snuck in. They better be careful.
I think we both agree it's coming down to Steelers-Ravens for the division, and whoever wins the division is going on, and the loser is out. Steelers are at Cincinnati this weekend.
They have the 1-game lead, correct? I think
They are 8-5, correct.
7-6,
Ravens
yeah.
are 7-6.
Yeah, so they'll give them a win at Cincy.
Baltimore next Sunday at home.
Yeah, that's for the division right there. At home, I think they get it done. So that would
And then the Browns at home to end the season.
This is a good scenario, actually, for Cleveland. If Pittsburgh can win those 2 games, they might play some backups. Cleveland might be able to get on the board.
The Steelers could get to 11-5, which would be unbelievable after they were 4-5, I believe, or 3-4 at one point. The 4 seed currently is the Houston Texans. They host the Jaguars this weekend.
I'm looking at net points for the playoffs. New Pittsburgh plus 61. Houston minus 45.
Minus 45?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I guess they beat the Jags at home.
Cincinnati at home.
Well, I'm going to say loss. Cincinnati has showed a little bit of fight the last 3 weeks.
At Tennessee to end the year.
Wow. I'm going to say loss.
That puts them at 8-8. Let's do the Titans right now.
Alright.
At Kansas City this weekend, we said loss.
Yep.
That's 7-7. At Jacksonville.
Win.
And we said that they would beat Houston at home to end. That would be 9-7.
Yeah, that game at the end of the year is probably for the whole shebang.
I would agree. Raiders play at San Diego this weekend.
Man, I keep going back and forth, but I'll give the Raiders this game.
Indianapolis at home next weekend.
Win.
At Denver to end the year.
Loss.
That's 12-4.
So they have a sneaky chance. Here's a question for you. Let's say they somehow get the 1 seed. Some way. Are you scared to go play in Oakland?
I would not be.
And I mean, the weather's decent usually, right?
Yeah.
And then half the seats in the stadium are tarped off. I mean, they have a good crowd, don't get me wrong, but, it's not a scary place to play.
The only thing you have to worry about is the A's infield.
Right? I wouldn't worry about that if I was Captain Tommy.
Denver, we said they would beat New England this weekend. That would put them at 9-5. At Kansas City next weekend.
I think I gave that to Kansas City.
Correct. So that would be 9-6. And then Oakland at home to end the year.
Win. Wow, they have a really tough road here.
That would be 10-6. And then the teams on the outside looking in. Miami at the Jets Saturday night.
God, that could be a slop fest.
This will be Matt Moore.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Jesus Christ. Boy. I guess I don't know. I'm going to say the Jets, actually.
8-6 at Buffalo.
That's brutal. Matt Moore.
Yeah, at Buffalo.
Still Matt Moore, I guess Buffalo.
And then New England at home to end it.
I'll give them that game just for fun.
9-7. Ravens host the Eagles this weekend. That's a win. At Pittsburgh next weekend.
I like the Eagles. Loss.
And then at Cincinnati.
They have a tough road too. I think they're out too. I'll give them a win just for fighting reasons at the end.
It would seem that the Colts' only road is the division. They have at Minnesota.
Loss.
That would be 6-8, and they would be out.
I don't. Maybe they win that game, but they would still. I don't see them pass.
Yeah, they have at Oakland and then Jags at home.
Yeah.
The Bills are currently 6-7. They Cleveland at home, Miami at home, at Jets.
I think they actually run the table here.
9-7. It would come down to tiebreakers. In this scenario, we would have Pats the 1 seed, Chiefs the 2 seed, Steelers the 3 seed, Titans the 4 seed, Raiders the 5, and then it would come down to Broncos. We have at 10-6.
Yeah, they have a tough road though. I can see Denver, Miami, and Buffalo all 9-7.
Yeah, the Ravens have a shot at 9-7 as well.
They do, yes.
Yeah, there could be 4 or 5 teams at 9-7. That 6 seed will be fun to watch.
I don't know how the tiebreaker works, but Rex might save his job here.
In that scenario, the Steelers would be the 3 seed hosting against the 6 seed. Whoever that 6 seed may be. Who would be the toughest test to go into Pittsburgh? Denver.
That's 6 seed.
You think Denver?
I don't know. I love Denver's defense, but the lack of running game really worries me. I think it kind of lets Pittsburgh's defense off the hook.
How about Buffalo?
Buffalo would be a little more worrisome, actually, to me, because they can move the ball. I think to beat Pittsburgh, you got to be able to throw the ball in the middle of the field, especially. Buffalo would scare me a little more than Denver, I think.
I agree.
It kind of, if Denver's defense like shows up to play, they can shut out 3 straight opponents, no problem. But
Yeah.
Simeon does not look like he did earlier this year, and they just literally can't run the ball with Forsett and Booker. If C.J. Anderson was playing, I think Denver would be the team to make a run.
The NFC is a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
Cowboys currently in the 1 seed at 11-2. They host Tampa this weekend.
I guess win.
12-2, and that would seal it up.
Yeah, I think they're going to seal it up.
Detroit Lions with an injured Matt Stafford at the Giants.
Loss.
At Dallas, which may mean nothing for
Loss.
Dallas.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what Dallas' situation is.
And then probably for the division at Green Bay at home.
Yeah, oh boy. I think it depends on Stafford's hand. I think that's a big injury. I'm going to go Green Bay. I read reports yesterday that he was having trouble throwing the ball in practice, so I'm not sure that injury heals up this time of year very quickly. I
think the Lions are probably the biggest Cowboys fans this weekend, hoping that they rest some people next weekend.
Yeah.
Seahawks win last night, so they're 9-4-1. They finished the year with Arizona at home next weekend.
Okay, but bounce back.
And then at San Fran.
I mean, that's cake.
So that is 11-4-1.
Yeah.
Currently, the 4 seed is the Wagon. 8-5.
That's Atlanta.
Atlanta has the tiebreaker?
Yeah, they currently own the tiebreaker.
I'm on NFL.com. They had Tampa in the 4 seed. All right, we'll do Atlanta then. They're 8-5. They San Fran this weekend.
Win.
At Carolina.
Ooh. I'll say win.
New Orleans at home.
All right, so win.
11-5.
Yeah, they're gonna win that division, I think.
Wagon at Dallas.
Loss.
At New Orleans.
Wow. I'll say win just because New Orleans doesn't have anything to play for, but that game would worry me about the Tampa fan.
And Carolina at home.
Man, they have a tough road.
They do.
Man, they're gonna lose one of those games.
Yeah, I say realistically 9-7.
Yeah. Yep.
Giants. Detroit at home.
Win.
At Philly. Win. 11. At Washington.
That's gonna be a huge game. I'm gonna say loss.
Yeah, I think they win 2 out of those 3, so that's 11-5 for the Giants. The Hearts. Carolina at home Monday night.
Loss.
Wow. Really?
I like Carolina.
At Chicago's a win.
Win.
Giants at home.
Win.
Vikings need some help, but we'll do them quickly. Indianapolis at home.
Win.
At Green Bay.
Loss.
And Chicago.
Win.
And then lastly, the Packers. They have at Chicago.
Win. Close game though.
Minnesota. We said win. At Detroit.
Win.
10-6.
Division winner.
So yeah, we would have Cowboys 1 seed. Chickens 2 seed. 3 seed would be the Falcons. And then the 4 seed would be
Giants.
Packers because they had a division.
Packers.
Then Giants. And then Tampa, Washington, and Lions would be fighting for that 6 seed.
Yep.
I guess the Vikings would have an outside shot as well. So Falcons against the 6 seed. Who, if you're the Falcons, who do you not want to get in?
I think I would not want to see Washington.
I'm completely with you.
I would not want to face that offense in a dome, that's for sure.
We've seen it before. Eli and Lambeau, 4-5 matchup. Who you got there?
Yeah, I actually think I like the Giants there. I think their defense is kind of built for that situation.
I'm glad we got on the topic of this because last weekend, watching that game, I think we were texting back and forth. I've been on this podcast every week proclaiming the fraudulent New York Giants, but I actually see a path to the NFC title for them.
So do I. I still don't like their offense, especially their lack of running game. But to me, their defense is getting much better. Janoris Jenkins might be the most underappreciated guy in the league. I know he's a Looney Tune, but he absolutely locked Ted Bryant to the ground.
He did.
The kid who subbed in for JPP, too, his name was called out about 100 times.
Yeah, you're right. He did have a good game. I think the Giants would have to hope to get the Cowboys in round 2. I don't think they could go to Seattle and win.
Totally agree. 100%.
And Dallas could be a one and done. Actually, Dallas, I think it would have a tough matchup either way if it was the Giants or if the Hearts were able to win that game. If they got in.
I agree. Dallas is in a weird spot. I almost rather be the 2 seed the way I think it might shake out.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So let's go to this week. Guess the lines. You have a 2-game lead with 3 weeks to play, so you could seal it up. The champagne is on ice.
This is a weird week. I had trouble with some of these.
I was with you. Last night we tied. We both guessed 11.5. It opened 12.5. So we tie that to start the week. Saturday.
16.
Saturday night, Jets hosting the Dolphins. I said Dolphins -2.
I remembered that Matt Moore was starting, so I said Jets -2.
It opened Miami -3. It's Miami 2.5. So I get this one.
Was Matt Moore good? I don't get it.
Maybe Adam Gase is the quarterback whisperer.
Maybe. Forecast for this game is temperatures in the 40s, so not too bad, but rain, showers in the area, so it could be a sloppy one. Your guess is good as mine if you like this game.
I think I like the Jets in this game. Yeah, I mean, we have a penchant for going to the shitty teams, and I'm attracted to the Jets.
I was hoping you did not say that because I do too, kind of.
Saturday's an action-packed day with shitty bowl games too, so we could get ourselves in big trouble Saturday.
Because Saturday might be a day to really lay low. Drug yourself in the morning so you're not tempted.
Just for the record, we're still 3 games under 500. We hit the Hearts early, and I thought we were setting up for a run. And then Dak Prescott let us down.
The Ravens really screwed us too at the end.
Yeah, we were lucky to squeak out of there with a push, though.
Yeah, true.
Especially the way the game started.
Yes.
Next game on the board, even though this has been flexed to 8:30, is the Wagon at Dallas. I said Dallas -6.5.
I said Dallas -6.
I get this one. It opened 8.5. It's down to 7.
Wow, 8.5. I like Mike Evans in this game. I kind of think Dallas bounces back here, especially with the whispers of where's Romo. 7, I kind of like Dallas with 7.
How much pressure's on Dakota Prescott this weekend?
Yeah, I like him to bounce back, but if he makes one mistake early, it could be an absolute collapse. There's a ton of pressure on him.
How good is the Wagon secondary?
They played really well. Your boy Mike Smith is just a defensive whisperer. Their defense is playing really good. They went 2 Arrowhead and 1. They beat Seattle at home. Those are 2 great wins. So.
I think the Giants gave the blueprint last weekend. If you have a good enough secondary where you can man up and blitz the heck out of Dakota, you got a shot.
Correct. Ezekiel still got some yardage, but he didn't control the game. He didn't dominate it. I think you're exactly right.
Yeah, you almost have to put down on paper 90 to 110 for Zeke and just hope he doesn't get in the end zone.
Yep, it's those back-crushing, 3rd and 2 where he scores from 35.
Exactly.
You guys not allow that.
I lean Wagon. I think it's too many points. But
yeah, I can't disagree.
I don't
I'm just
love the
waiting
game.
for the road game that Jameis Winston throws a couple picks.
He's been great, and from all accounts, he's become a major leader in that locker room, which is pretty shocking to me.
Yeah, he was someone at college. He was sort of that guy. He looked like a pro quarterback in college. I know he made a bunch of mistakes, but that is the reason he went over Mariota by all accounts.
Moving 1 o'clock game, Giants hosting the Lions. I said Giants 3.5.
I said the exact same thing.
So we got a tie. It opened 5.5. It's down to 4. Gusty wind for this game. Game time temp of about 50 degrees. Decent amount of chance for rain.
Yeah, neither team runs the ball well, which scares me. Giants off a huge win, but I still lean Giants here for the sole fact that I don't think Stafford is going to be comfortable with kind of a half glove he was wearing in practice. I don't think he's going to be accurate. And if he can't throw the ball, the Lions have no way to score. I think the Giants want a low-scoring game here.
Yeah, both teams are going to struggle to run the ball in this game. I hate the Giants as a favorite. It seems that's where they always let you down. But I think the Stafford injury is huge, especially in the Meadowlands with that wind.
Yeah, I just, something ugly, kind of 19 to 10 or something like that.
Yeah, other than the 1 week, I believe every Lions game has been a touchdown or less differential.
Yeah. I can see it falling in that 4 to 7 range.
Your neck of the woods, the Eagles go to Baltimore. I said Ravens 7.5.
I guess that's a little more disrespectful to the Eagles. I said -9.
For some reason, it only opened 6, and it's down to 5.5.
I love it. You gotta get behind Philly then, right?
60% chance of rain, gusty wind, 49 degrees.
Yeah, it's gonna be any game on the East Coast is gonna be sloppy. Obviously, Baltimore's fighting for something. I think the Eagles might have kind of spent their last drop of gas last week against Washington.
Last weekend was the best game they've played in months, and they came up short.
Yeah, they threw the kitchen sink out, I think, last week, so I would be worried about a big-time steamroll here.
Yeah, I think...
that scares me, but I think we're getting value in Baltimore.
I think the Ravens could blow this game open.
Yeah.
Philly's offensive line still in shambles. I think this one could get ugly.
Darren Sproles in, out, concussion protocol.
Still in protocol, hasn't practiced this week. I doubt we see him. I'm happy that he's even alive.
I like Baltimore then. I know it's the sucker side, but...
We'll put that on the side. Again, we'll be tweeting them out on Sunday in case something transpires. 1 o'clock in Chicago. Packers come to town and almost a must-win. I said Packers -8.
I said 7.
You get it. It opened 4. It's up to 5.5.
Call me nuts. Maybe it's because they're not a good team, but I It has the chance to be the coldest game ever at Soldier Field. Game time temperature -5 to 0 degrees.
Wind chill, -18, I'm seeing.
We'll see how Aaron Rodgers is. Not practicing with the calf injury in those type of conditions, I think, worries me a little bit.
I don't know how he's going to be able to...
They can't run the ball either.
I don't know how he's going to be able to keep the calf loose.
Right. Chicago's defense sort of sneaky good on the back end, too. So if you're going to beat them, I think pounding the ball is the way to do it. I don't know. Something about this game just tells me upset or field goal.
I absolutely ripped Matt Barkley 3 weeks ago, but he's been pretty good.
He's been okay, yeah. He's, shown that I think he can be a serviceable backup at the very least.
This is going to be crazy, but I'm going to put the Bears on the side.
I'm with you. I like it. Did you already put Cleveland on the side? So we just bet that every week.
Let's go right to that game then. They go to the Bills. I said Bills -7.
I said 8.
You get it. It opened 10. It has remained 10.
Wow, I didn't realize the Bills had become the Patriots.
Wind chill.
I can't get on the Cleveland route.
Wind chill 14 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be windy. Temperatures won't be that bad. I think they're in the 30s. Doesn't look like snow, but windy.
Do you think the Bills are going to try and control this game on the ground, though?
Probably, yeah. It seems like they're trying to save Rex's job. Marcel Darius, Sammy Watkins, they both spoke out this week. Darius guaranteed a win, so...
Really going out on a limb there.
Yeah, I like that he waited for this game to do that. I can't get behind Cleveland anymore.
Double-digit points isn't tempting you?
It is tempting me, especially when you get at 10.5. That door is vitally in play there. If they were starting someone else at quarterback, I could get behind him. But Bob he just loves losing games against the spread.
Yeah, we're not taking the Browns this week. To Minnesota, they host the Colts. I said Vikings -3.5.
I said 6.
Open 4, still 4.
This is an interesting game. I would love to get Tundra's thoughts. The Colts, they seem to let you down when you think they're going to win, and then they kind of just pull a performance out of their butt. Every once in a while, their defense shows up. I think the Vikings defense, though, is still very good. And Andrew Luck might have some issues in this game. Getting hit a ton. Xavier Rhodes, I really like him to lock down one side of the field. I don't know with the points, which side I like here, but I think the Vikings win the game.
I agree with the first statement you made that everybody's down on them, and that's when they come through. That's my only logic for liking the Colts this week.
Yeah, it's a weird one. When I first saw the matchup, I was like, interesting. This could be one of those Colts games.
Is Peterson available this weekend?
He is available. I think they might have said that he's available more for game plan reasons to make the Colts think that. I think realistically, at Green Bay is the most logical comeback point if they're still alive.
To Arrowhead, they host the Titans. I said Chiefs 6.5.
I said Chiefs 7.5.
Opens Chiefs 6, down to Chiefs 5.5. Little wind, but wind chill 1 degree.
Oh man, I can't decide which side I like here. It's going to be freezing. I think that favors the Titans a little bit just because they love to run the ball. I don't want to give burned by picking the popular team here. I feel like the Titans are going to be the popular side. I'm not sure yet, but it seems to me like that's a little bit too many points.
Yeah, I think this is a good line. I'm torn on it. I do like the Titans' ability to probably be able to run the ball this weekend. But Alex Smith in that intermediate passing game could really expose Tennessee.
Tennessee's defense in the back end is horrific. So your boy Travis Kelce might have a huge game.
Yeah, and I think you touched on it in a text with either you or Tundra with Tyreek Hill on the outside that really has opened up the middle of the field for Kelce.
Yes, good point.
2 more 1 o'clock games. We'll start in Houston. They host the Jaguars. I said Texans 3.5.
I said Texans 7.5.
I get this one. It opened 5. It's up to 5.5.
Wow. Some respect for the Gus Bus. God, both these teams are so bad. But one is playing for something, the other's not. I can't. There's no way I can take Brock, though. No way. I can't take either one of these teams.
The line is pointing to the Jaguars. They should not be giving anybody 5.5 points. But
no.
I saw where they asked Blake Bortles about his pick sixes, and Bortles responded by saying he needs to learn to tackle better.
I mean, shoot or shoot, I guess, right?
So that's where his head is right now.
I kind of like that, though, when you're the underdog getting points. That's backdoor written all over it.
I don't know how you lay 5.5 with Brock Osweiler.
You can't.
So to me, this is a stay away game. And then the last 1 o'clock game takes us to Cincinnati. They host Pittsburgh. I said Pittsburgh -7.
I said Pittsburgh -6.5.
You get it. It's opened Pittsburgh 3. It's remained Pittsburgh 3.
Wow. Yeah, that seems like another sucker line there. Pittsburgh does have a very good run going against AFC North opponents. I think they're 5-1-1 their last 7 against the spread or something like that. I mean, Pittsburgh's clearly the better team, but that line is short.
Is Roethlisberger going to have another game like he did last week?
What's weird, I watched most of the game last week. It was snowing pretty hard, but watching the game, he made some really good throws, and then they would get it close, and he would just force the ball into triple coverage to Antonio Brown. He just made 3 bad throws. Stats probably look worse than how he played.
The Cincinnati has played better of late, but I still think, I know it's a sucker play, but I like Pittsburgh a lot.
Yeah, Cincinnati's defense, I killed them for the most of the year. They have kind of flipped the switch a little bit, but Pittsburgh's playing for something, and Cincinnati's not, and that's going to be a theme.
In 40 years when we're doing this podcast, I'm sure one of us is going to come on and say, have you ever seen somebody like this? But have you ever seen a running back as patient as Le'Veon Bell?
No, not really. I mean, if you watch him specifically, I know people will say it. It's weird. He glides on his feet, and he looks like he's hovering, standing still, and then he just waits for the hole to open up. It's crazy.
It's unbelievable to watch.
He just is so patient, and I guess that's because he knows if a guy does pop out on him, he can make him miss. But it's fun to watch.
Unbelievable game by him last weekend.
Oh my God, it seemed like he was gaining 15 yards every time he touched it.
So that ends the 1 o'clock session. I have a 6-3 lead with 5 games left as I fight for my life here.
Yeah, you're clubbing me.
4 o'clock tilt, Arizona hosting New Orleans. I said Arizona 5.5.
I said 4.5.
You get it. It opened 2.5. It's up to 3.
Both teams eliminated from playoff contention, essentially. I don't like the home road split of Drew Brees, so I lean Arizona.
That's the only reason I'm with you on this. I feel like one of these weeks he is going to play good, though, on the road. Every time, every week.
The week that we bet against him.
Every week I feel that he's on the road. But it's to stay away from me.
Yes, me too.
Atlanta hosting the Niners. I said Atlanta minus 10.
I said 10.5.
You got it. It opened 11.5 up to 13.5. The lead is 6-5.
Uh-oh. God, this could be another blowout. I don't want to take a team giving 11.5, but there's no way I would take the Niners here.
No way. Absolutely not.
There's no chance. This has the ability to be one of those 40 to 10 games.
Up 14-0 to the Jets, and you lose. To Bryce Petty.
Yeah, that's scary.
Are you hearing anything in regards to Chip or the GM being back or not back next year?
The GM looks like he's on his way out. Balky is, from what I read, he is all but gone. Chip, the quote was, "No decision has been made," which makes you think that he's at least on thin ice.
It's crazy that he didn't jump.
Their net points are negative 142, so they're not even sniffing competition.
It's just so you know, it's not about time of possession or points. It's just about number of plays run.
Keeps at the NFL apparently.
So clinging to a 6-5 lead, we move to Denver. They host New England. I said Pats minus 2.
I said Pats minus 1.
I get this at open 3. It's remained 3.
That's a huge win for you there. Huge.
I had to go to Aroldis Chapman.
I lean Denver here just because I think the Gronk injury shows up big in this particular matchup. Harrison Talib, two great corners, clearly the best corner duo in the league. I think that poses some problems for New England. I will say the way to beat Denver this year is to pound the rock, and LeGarrette Blount runs it well. Wouldn't be shocked if you see the Pats come out and just, kind of what they did to the Colts 2 years ago, just run with Blount, Deion Lewis, and James White. But I lean Denver's defense at home.
I think this plays out very similarly to the 2 Denver-New England games last year. I'm with you. I like Denver. I think you are right on that Belichick and New England is going to try and pound it. Brady took a beating in last year's AFC title game. An absolute beating.
Yes. Yep.
And I think he's going to try and protect them. I lean Denver as well.
Yeah, I like the weather conditions too. It's going to be pretty cold, low 20s, maybe even lower than that. So kind of plays into the defensive hands here.
Last 4 o'clock game in San Diego. They host the Raiders. I said Raiders 4.5.
I said Raiders 5.5.
I get this to clinch the week. The Raiders open 2.5 and is up to 3.
I want to like San Diego, but I'm going to lean Oakland. I think the Melvin Gordon injury is too much for San Diego to overcome. He's had a great year.
I've gone back and forth so many times this week on this game. I think Oakland is the right side, but I feel like Rivers is going to have one of those games this weekend. He's played so bad of late. I think he's going to throw for like 370.
Yeah, I think he will have a really good game. I think they lose in the end, though. I just don't see them having enough weapons to stay with Oakland.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think this could be a high-scoring, fun game to watch.
Yes. I actually think I like Oakland even with the points. It's probably the public side, the wrong side, but I The Gordon injury to me just sticks out. Kenneth Farrow getting the start, whoever that is.
And we conclude in your hometown with the Hearts hosting Carolina Monday night. I said Hearts -5.
I said Marks -3.
We split it. It opened 4 up to 6.5.
6.5?
Up to 6.5. 6 in some spots, 6.5 in others.
Love Carolina. I think Cam puts on a show. I think Jonathan Stewart has a really big game. I think it's a high-scoring game, but I think Carolina wins outright.
I do think you make a good point that Cam is gonna, on Monday night, the whole world watching, he's gonna play well. I think if this was a 1:00 Sunday game, the Hearts win easily.
Right, I agree. I think this is the first time you see Cam, since all the concussion, taking hit talks. I think you see him get out of the pocket and have a huge game with his legs.
I think the Hearts win this game. I don't think they cover though.
Fair enough.
Your boy Ryan Kerrigan saves the season last weekend.
Guys like that just annoy me to all ends. I don't know how if you're the Eagles tackle you give that up. The guy literally has one pass rush move and you beat him with it.
There's a lot of reasons the Eagles give that up. They're not a good football team.
Good point. They fought hard last week though.
5 bowl games. Just shout out if you like any of them. New Mexico -7.5 against Texas San Antonio. Houston -4 against San Diego State.
I like Houston.
I do too.
I think the line is small enough. I think Major Applewhite hiring was huge for this game specifically. I think he's going to want to put a stamp on it. Love Houston.
Official.
Yeah.
Houston -4. I agree. Central Florida -6 against Arkansas State. Toledo -1 against Appalachian State. And Southern Miss -6 against Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah, all the other games besides that, I would actually lean to the dog, but nothing. I don't like anything to make it official besides Houston.
I agree. Houston -4. We'll tweet out the NFL picks Sunday unless we decide the Jets. That'll be Saturday night.
We need to talk about that some more privately, but it's a possibility.
Good job by you today, bud. Stay warm.
Tip of the cap to you, buddy.
Talk to you soon.